As well, because you know I love Forza Motorsport. I'm a massive fan of Dan Greenawalt as well, and I'm going to talk to him later.
Yeah. Man
but there's
crush.
even
Man crush. He has a man crush.
You weren't supposed to say anything about that. But we've got some more new Forza news to talk about as well. We've announced more tracks, including for the first time Monza and Circuit of the Americas coming to Forza Motorsport. Yeah. We've got League Play, we've got Spectator Mode.
Oh, nice.
Top Gear is back in Forza, including the test track. And if you've got Forza Horizon 2, there's a free car pack available at the moment. Go to forzamotorsport.net, you'll get all that information.
What are you waiting for? Go!
And speaking of Forza, which I just was, yesterday I went to a special event to find out even more about one of my favourite racing games, full stop, and I was not disappointed. Let's take a look. 2015 marks the 10th anniversary of the awesome Forza franchise, and I'm joined here with Dan Greenawalt, creative director at Turn 10 Studios, who's going to tell me something about this amazing car behind us. Tell me about this Ford Focus RS here.
It is lovely, isn't it, right? The new Ford Focus RS, it's from Ford's performance division. It's actually built here in Cologne, and it has this amazing wrap on it. It was actually designed by a Forza fan in Forza Horizon 2 as part of a contest we ran with IGN. It looks amazing. It's actually had a lot of people taking photos of it today.
Now, the tie between Turn 10 and Forza and the community is really important to you guys. Yeah, tell me more about that.
You know, the community is the heart of Forza Motorsport ever since the beginning. Xbox Live, bringing people together, and it's right at our vision. So when we build features, be it rain, be it night, be it leagues, all of it's about bringing people together. And of course, the livery editor and what people paint has always been at the heart of that as well.
Speaking of community, and Forza Motorsport 6 in particular, we want to announce Forza Fuel. Tell us about Forza Fuel this year.
Well, Forza Fuel is the way we're going to find the world's fastest Forza fan. We're kicking it off here at Gamescom. There'll be a lot more information to come, but our hope is that players are going to represent their countries and have a little bit of nationality and loyalty and really show how fast they can be.
All right, so Forza Fuel is a search for the world's fastest Forza fan. If you were going to enter, and I don't think you can because of terms and conditions and all that, so don't worry about it, but if you were going to enter, what car would you choose?
Well, I sure wish I could drive the Ford GT. That would be an amazing ride. If I was going to be realistic, I might take like the Mustang GT350. It's the new flat plane crank V8 car. Love the sound of it. I'm really excited about that car.
All right, you talked a lot about rain here at Gamescom, and funnily enough, it was actually raining outside while you were doing that. Why is rain so important to Forza Motorsport 6?
Well, for us, it starts with a vision. We wanted to recreate that experience that race car drivers have, the tension of seeing a puddle up ahead of you and having a car on your left and a car on your right. There's nowhere to go, and you're just along for the ride. So we then did the research. I mean, it's kind of how we do things, right? So we sent guys to the track, we got old footage, we talked to race car drivers, and we recreated where the puddles are on the track, and then recreate hydroplaning, which is a physical effect. We're physics guys. So, when you drive rain in Forza Motorsport 6, that's what it's really like.
How important it is for you to have real race drivers playing Forza and giving you their opinion?
Well, there's the professional side, which is we need these guys. They have that level of expertise and they really know the subject matter so well that it's hard to make the game without them. But at the same time, they're heroes to us. So, right, it's cool to know that guys that are racing it in IndyCar, racing at some of the highest levels of racing, they actually play our game and they love it.
So we're about a month away from Forza Motorsport 6 hitting shelves exclusive on Xbox One. What message do you have for the Forza fans around the world at this point?
Well, this is the best game we've ever made. It's amazing. It's huge, but it's more than the numbers. 450 cars, it's a lot of cars, 26 tracks, a lot of tracks, but it's the experiences you can have when you drive a pre-war race car down Le Mans through the rain. You're just not going to get that anywhere else, and hopefully that gets people excited about cars in general, excited about games, and hopefully playing on Xbox Live and competing.
All right, Dan, it's a beautiful car, it's a beautiful game. Thank you very much. Have an amazing Gamescom week.
Thank you.
Oh my God, so many beautiful cars.
I wish I had the money to own them in real life. That would be amazing.
That's why we have video games.
Exactly.
Julia, that's why we have video games.
Ever since a critically acclaimed reboot in 2013, gamers have been anxiously awaiting the return of Lara Croft. Thankfully for Xbox One owners, the wait is almost over.
Almost over. Here to take us on a deep dive into Rise of the Tomb Raider is game director Brian Horton. Brian, welcome to the show.
Hey.
It's great to be here.
Absolutely, great to have you.
So, you know, obviously some big reveals from Gamescom. Do you want to quickly just talk us through if anyone's kind of missed them at home?
Oh yeah, I think the biggest thing we wanted to say is this game is about make the Lara Croft you want to make. Open exploration, discover things, find tombs, find collectibles. Then when you get into a situation where you have an enemy, you're going to have your own strategic advantage of how you want to defeat that enemy, and ultimately find your tomb and your destination. So it's a full package, something that the Tomb Raider fan is really going to appreciate.
Brian, I want to talk to you about the new guerrilla combat skills that Lara has. Explain those to us.
So guerrilla combat is a tone that we wanted to set, that Lara can improvise, and we want to encourage that you're going to make your own strategy. So if you want, like we just saw a gas ammunition right there.
Yeah.
And
You mean
these
the barrels are red and explode?
Barrels are red and explode.
Wow!
It's pretty impressive, right? But we really want the player to be able to see their environment, see their tools in that environment, and then make a choice on how they want to use it. So if you want to go really stealthy and you want to have like a really low kill count, you can do that.
Right.
If you want to go guns blazing, that's available to you as well.
Yeah.
So we really want to give that improvisation and use the environment to your advantage.
Well, I suppose it's that kind of thing for me. It's like I start off with stealth and then I just screw it up.
They just
And then
give
it's
it
all
up.
guns blazing.
Pull 'em out, away we go.
I know, right?
But that's what's so exciting about it, is because when you do screw it up, or if you do, you can find yourself adapting and having
Yeah.
even a more interesting time than the plan you might have made.
I mean, how key is the environment then? So it sounds like it's very, very important to the combat.
Lara Croft is all about traversal and her skills. So
Yeah.
mobility is the key touchstone for everything we do.
Yeah.
So that means traversal skills like the new swimming that we have. We can go underwater and above water, and you can evade enemies. You can also climb trees now that you couldn't do. So being able to go vertical or go low, you can use bushes as a way to hide. These are all things that we're going to allow the player some choice on how they're going to go about tackling a level.
Let's go a little bit deeper on the environment. You made a lot of changes to the game. That's really impressive.
Yeah, our team, we had this goal to try to make our exploration spaces not only larger, which is 3 times larger,
Right.
we're also making them more dense. So there's going to be a lot of things to do. You can hunt and find collectibles. You're going to be able to do challenges and then ultimately find those challenge tombs. All those rewards that you get from this large environment are going to help you go to base camp and upgrade Lara Croft based on your playstyle and preference.
Yeah.
So, and what exactly can obviously the fans here at Gamescom, what can they get? If they're going to come down and see you, what are they going to experience? Can you tell us?
Well, what's exciting was we showed a little bit of our guerrilla combat on the stage,
Yeah.
but at Gamescom, you're going to be able to see a tomb from the beginning to end. And this is the first time we've been able to show that, because we really wanted to hold it back. But it's a special treat for those that are here at Gamescom.
Tombs. It's in the title, but it's
You
what everyone
kind
wants,
of
right?
expect it, right? But the reason we hold back on it is because that's where a lot of you want that discovery to happen, and we don't want to spoil it. So when you're here and you get to see this, you see that Lara Croft is an archaeologist. We're going to be introducing a new translation system where she can read murals and be able to upgrade her language skill, and she'll be able to use that to find things all throughout the world. And the other thing we're going to add to tombs is they're going to be dangerous. There's going to be traps. There's going to be intrigue, and of course, there's going to be rewards.
And when are we going to go spelunking in these tombs?
Well, you're going to go spelunking in these tombs November 10th in the States and November 13th all in the area here in Europe.
Great, thank you.
That's going to be amazing. Well, thank you so much. So at the Xbox briefing, we got our first glorious glimpse at the new limited edition
beautiful.
Halo 5 Guardians console. Seriously, my jaw just went... Here's an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how the console was designed to look like it dropped right out of the Halo universe. Let's check it out.
With Halo 5, we're bringing together this massive campaign experience, the biggest, most expansive campaign that we've ever told in series history. And so for Halo 5 Guardians, we wanted to create something that would be really, really special and allow players to have something that they could remember Halo 5 with.
From an industrial design perspective, we love to work on limited editions. They give us a chance to really connect with our fans. We work directly with 343 to understand the storyline, the environments, the characters, and the progression of the universe as the Halo 5 story unfolds.
We start the custom console process with a lot of brainstorming. For us, it's how do we take this object, which has to have actual function, and tell a story through that piece of hardware.
This limited edition has been designed to reflect Halo 5 down to the smallest details.
You know, we have this new breed of Spartan, and so really started exploring materials that make up that Spartan 4 armor, that make up things like the Infinity. We really wanted to start to bring sort of the Spartan technology and these identities all together into a piece that would still look sexy in the living room.
The lore, the depth of the universe is something that fans care very, very deeply about. And so we wanted to bring a lot of those little details into the design of the console and the controller.
There's a high polish surface on the front of the console, and that was a really natural place for us to use the hex pattern that you find in both Locke and Master Chief's visors, and also use some HUD-inspired graphics over it, brought in the blue coloring through the use of foil. We use that blue foil over the console and controller in numerous places because it reflects the light just right and kind of feels like the blue lighting that you find in the Halo universe.
The controller that comes embedded with the console is a beautiful Halo Universe controller tying in the themes from Locke's armor suit and his key colors.
We think very deliberately about planting some of those story seeds because we want them to be able to discover them and have the satisfaction of figuring out what they are.
If you're looking for more Master Chief, we've designed a controller that's inspired directly by Master Chief.
It has the nice green tones of Chief's armor. It takes some specific styling from his undersuit, and the triggers are a nice gold, just like his visor.
Master Chief has a braille marking on his armor, and we put that on the back of the controller, so you can actually feel Master Chief's emblem.
I'm really excited about partnering with Astro to bring a special Halo 5 Guardian headset. It's this cohesive experience that players can immerse themselves in.
The limited edition console for Halo 5 Guardians comes out on October 20th, and it includes game on demand cards so that you can download the game and play on October 27th when it goes live.
Our limited editions are authentic. We design them as if they're a piece of the game that fell straight into your living room, and they become collector's items. So you'll love them today, you'll love them in 10 years, you'll love them in 15 years, and you'll remember the stories around them.
Hey guys, Bravo here with Xbox Daily. I'm with Kiki Wolfkill from 343 Industries. Kiki, we just saw a little bit about the Halo 5 Guardians limited edition console. Tell us from a 343 perspective what it takes to bring that console to life.
We had an amazing process with the hardware team, designing literally every single piece of that console. So every surface, every material, every light, every sound. We really wanted to tell a little bit of a Halo story with it and give the fans something that they could sort of appreciate the detail of, but also that would just look great in the living room.
Yeah, Kiki, we've also got a ton of Halo on the show floor as well in the ESL arena, of course. Pros are warming up for the first ever Halo 5 Gamescom Invitational.
Yeah, you can actually go play Arena and warm up next to the pros. We also have 48 Warzone stations here, so tons of Halo 5 to be played on the floor.
That's right, and Kiki, something else I want to talk about, of course, included in the bundle, you've been working on is the Fall of Reach.
Yeah, we've got the Fall of Reach animated series, which is part of the limited edition and limited collector's edition. You get it with the console bundle, which is the origin story of Master Chief and Blue Team. So it's kind of a great little backstory for Halo 5 where you meet Blue Team and Master Chief are reunited.
Well, and last question, how and when can we get Fall of Reach?
Fall of Reach is available on October 27th with the release of the game.
So Kiki, thanks so much for your time. You have a great show at Gamescom.
Now listen, there's so much in the pipeline for Xbox One that it's hard to know where to start the conversation. Thankfully, Shannon Loftis, who oversees development of some of Xbox's biggest exclusives, is here to walk us through some of the upcoming highlights. I'm so excited to talk to you, Shannon.
I'm so excited to be here.
I got to tell you, so now you're the head of first-party publishing at Xbox.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that I get to work with game developers all over the world and help them bring their games to our platforms. So I feel like I have the best job in the entire world.
You know,
I've met some of the greatest geniuses in the game history.
People tell me that I have the greatest job, and I disagree with them because I know your job, and it is amazing. Now, you've been in the games industry for quite a while. Can you tell us about your journey?
I got into the industry in the mid-90s. My first game was actually a card game.
Okay.
Bill Gates was playing bridge with Warren Buffett, and he wanted to have a card game service on Microsoft platforms. So that was my first title. And
so did Bill call you up and say, I want a bridge? I mean, how did that work?
No, I think he
tester?
talked to the person that hired me and said, please get started on some games for this new service that we're making. And then, you know, from there, I fell in love with the industry. I just could not believe how vibrant it was and how many great things can be accomplished in this industry. I mean, we're making entertainment for people, and entertainment is a fundamental human need. And games have always been a place where we're pushing the boundaries of both happiness and technology. So I have gotten to work on so many amazing titles. I was a racing game producer for a long time. I worked with the amazing Kiki Wolftill and many other brilliant people to create the Madness series, Monster Truck Madness, Motocross Madness, Midtone Madness. At one point I got to move overseas and I worked with Peter Molyneux and the Lionhead team to create the Fable series. I think I've got about 40 games or so under my belt.
Legit.
Yeah, I worked with a group of people to make a studio called Good Science, and we made we made the game that shipped with the Kinect. So you remember my friend Abby on stage with the red ball? That was a Good Science product, and it's just been amazing.
Now you talked about the entertainment and how things are kind of merging. One of the projects you're working on is Quantum Break, which is a game and a TV series. Tell us about that.
Quantum Break is an amazing game. It's from Remedy Studios. Remedy, 20 years of telling stories in an incredible way. And Sam Lake is one of the most creative people I've ever worked with. And he came to us a while back now, and he said, I want to tell a story from both the good guy's perspective and the bad guy's perspective. So that's what we're doing with the game. We've got this amazing AAA interactive entertainment, great game, and we have this network TV level quality linear television show. So the interactive is the good guy's perspective and the television show is the bad guy's perspective. And the way they work together, you play a little bit of the interactive and then you make a choice at the end of your interactive. And that dictates what piece of the linear is going to play. And then at the end of the linear, something will show up and it'll manifest somewhere in your interactive again. And you just kind of go back and forth like that and you get the whole story that way.
Now, people are saying, oh my God, she's working on Quantum Break, but you're also working on another title we announced here at the, or that we showed the gameplay for the first time, Scalebound.
That's right.
Tell us about the gameplay.
What an honor to get to work with Kamiya-san. This is a game, this is a passion project for him. He's wanted to make it for a long time. So Scalebound is an action RPG, meaning that it combines great open world exploration. It's got a terrific storyline. You play Drew. Drew is an amazing kid. He's a little bit alienated teenager who's been catapulted into the world of Draconis, kind of against his will, and bound together with the dragon Tuban. And he spends the game exploring what kind of a relationship do I want to have with this dragon. And there's great combat. You meet all kinds of enemies, giant enemies, tiny enemies, and then there's the RPG element. As you collect experience and as you collect currency in the game, you can upgrade and customize your dragon. Personally, I think Armored Dragon, probably the best two-word game pitch I've ever heard.
How long has the game been in development?
Well, as I said, it's a passion project for Kamiya. I believe that he's actually wanted to make this game more or less his whole life.
All right, now listen, I got to talk to you about one of my favorites. Crackdown, the Crackdown series.
Yes,
You're also involved with Crackdown.
I am.
So Crackdown 3, I want to talk to you about some of the things we showed off on stage. People are now realizing what they saw and the destruction of the building and the fact that we're doing it with Xbox Live to render things. Tell me about that.
Well, it's actually the power of the Microsoft Cloud. The cloud is real, people. We're actually using the cloud. We're doing our physics computation in the Microsoft Cloud and creating these destruction scenarios that would not be possible on any single individual device in a multiplayer environment. So we're using the cloud to create 20 times the power of the Xbox for the computation. And it just makes the most amazing gameplay scenarios. It's chaos, it's anarchy, but it's also, in a weird way, it's creative. You find yourself thinking, maybe I can topple over this building to knock that building down, and then I can run up and get that bad guy in the tower up there.
Mind blown.
It's so fun. We play every week.
Yeah. Now, what have you seen here at Gamescom?
I've seen quite a lot of the press.
That's right, you've been busy.
Yeah, I have. I actually have quite a few games here. We also have Killer Instinct that I mentioned.
Right.
I personally am super excited about Forza, so anytime I get a chance to play Forza, I have been playing it. Of course,
you have
I've been
enough games
around.
to keep you busy that you're working on.
But I have friends all over the industry, Larry. I got to see what they're doing too. FIFA 16 actually is completely mind-blowing this year, and I'm so excited, and it feels like an incredible value as well, especially through through Xbox EA Access.
Somebody that I am proud to call my friend Shannon Loftis. Shannon, thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, ever since the epic E3 teaser trailer for Dark Souls 3, fans have been anxiously awaiting a better look at the brutally difficult gameplay. Well, good news, the wait is over. The bad news is, guess what? You're going to die a lot. Here's a look at Dark Souls 3.
Hey everybody, I've run down here to the FIFA stand on the EA booth because one of the reasons I love coming to Gamescom is I get my first hands-on with a new FIFA. And luckily, to guide me through it, I've been joined by Nick Shannon. He is the senior producer on FIFA. Now Nick, you introduced a couple of things at our briefing the other day, new bundles, new legends coming to FIFA 16.
Yeah.
What else is new in this year's game?
Lots of new things this year. It's a really exciting year for FIFA with FIFA 16, and this year we're innovating across the entire pitch. We had Pele at E3, really trying to recreate the beautiful game and that beautiful feeling. And we've really looked at all areas: defending, midfield, attack. We've even reworked our crossing system, and a lot of this is based on player feedback. Players wanted more confidence in defending, found it quite difficult to keep with the Messis and the Ronaldos last year. So we've done a lot of work around the responsiveness of the defenders, also the way your teammates defend with you, really feeling like they're working with you as a team. In midfield, we've really, you're going to find that players are much more aggressive in trying to intercept the ball, which really changes the feeling of the game. You've got to think about where you put those passes. To help balance the game, we've also added a more powerful passing, allowing you to pass with more purpose. We've got a new dribbling system with no-touch dribbling, and even worked on shooting as well. So lots of changes, really transform the feeling of the game. So very, very exciting. Very excited.
We know that Xbox players love FIFA Ultimate Team, and you introduced FUT Draft this week as well. Tell us more about FUT Draft.
Yeah, so we've looked at different ways to sort of change FUT and actually add something new. We don't want to change the core experience because it's so popular, people love it, but how can we add something to it? So FUT Draft is all about going in and playing with some of the best players in FUT, getting a taste for them, and then maybe okay, I really like playing with that player, I can bring that into my core team. So what you do is you pay to enter, and then even if you lose your first game, you actually get a reward of at least that value. If you continue to win, there's 4 games. If you win all 4, you get really big rewards. So you can take those all back into your core experience. Each time you go in, you have to pick from 5 formations. So maybe you can try something different, a formation you wouldn't normally use. And then you go in and pick captain, again 5 choices, and go through all the positions on the pitch. So it's a great way. You could get a legend, you could get really big name players. So it's a great way to try different things, and then all the rewards you get, you bring back into your core FUT experience.
All right. It's been an amazing year for women's football. An incredible World Cup, USA winning, England performing so well, and of course, women's national team's been added to FIFA 16. How important was that for you and the team?
It was really important, and I think it's one of probably the biggest additions we've ever made to our game, and one for us as a team. I'm very proud to be able to say we were part of the FIFA team that brought women to our game. We want to be the most authentic football experience there is. We believe to do that, we need women in our game. We were very fortunate living in Vancouver to actually, be hosting a number of the games. I was fortunate enough to go with my family to watch Canada play. The quality of women's football is fantastic. The entertainment value of the World Cup was just incredible. So we have 12 teams in the game. We wanted national teams to get the best players. We've spent a lot of time doing this. We prototyped this a good few years ago. to really look at all the things we needed to do. And one of the biggest things was our body types. The way we scaled the body just wasn't right to do the female body properly. So we've worked on that. We've worked on hair simulations. We've scanned lots of the players' heads to make them look as authentic as possible. New animations. We had to rework our ratings as well. So when we brought women to our game, we wanted to do it right. I think we've done that, and we're very excited by the reaction.
Lots of career mode updates this year as well. Tell us more about them.
Yeah, so a lot of fans have been saying we really want to see new things in career mode, and we've added two of the most asked for things with pre-season tournaments. So pre-season was a bit dull. It was just 3 games, meaningless games. So, and if you look at modern football, so many teams now going out on foreign tournaments. They're playing big teams. We wanted to bring that into FIFA this year. So you can do that. You can get a boost to your transfer funds as well, which is good in the process. And then the other really big thing is adding training. It was something we added in our World Cup game a couple of years ago, but we wanted to do it well and really add it to add depth to career mode. So you can now train players. You can train up to 5 slots in a week. So we're really excited about bringing that in as one of the most requested things we had in career mode.
You're introducing Real Madrid as a partner team as well. That's exciting, eh?
Yeah, one of the biggest teams in the world. So to be able to do that, to be able to go and scan, as many players as we can from that team is just great.
All right, so I'm going to check out Aberdeen and see how they're faring in FIFA 16 this year. Excellent. Thank you very much, Nick. Back up to you, Larry.
Thank you very much,
Whoa, I'm going to stop you there. Sorry, Major. Hi, guys. I'm Stevie, the floor manager here in the Xbox booth.
And I'm Roth, the stage manager.
And right now, on behalf of the Xbox crew, we've got a look at the new Elite Wireless Controller, which is catnip to competitive gamers.
Now listen, Stevie, you're right, but this is the very first time we are going to take a look at this app. You at home have never before seen this app, which is going to allow you to customize your Xbox One Elite Wireless Controller. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Let's take a look.
Well, our fans have been asking for more personalized ways to play, and we are super excited to be introducing the Xbox Elite Wireless Controller this holiday, and also a new chat pad. Both are available on Xbox One and Windows 10 and can be pre-ordered today. At E3, we announced the Xbox Elite Wireless Controller coming out this holiday, and fan excitement has been over the top. The controller gives you the option to interchange the thumbsticks, the D-pads, and on the back of the controller, you have paddles that you can reprogram and hair trigger locks that let you fire faster. So at E3, we talked about the app at a high level. Today, we're going to talk about some specific features that you haven't seen before that let you see how you can basically set up the controller in virtually an unlimited amount of ways. So within the app, you can create and edit customization profiles that let you set up the controller the way you want it for basically any gaming scenario. You could have a custom setting for the way you play Halo, and also one for the way you play Forza. And with the app, you can save up to 255 different configurations in your library. And you can load up to 2 of those at a time onto the controller's memory slots. Simply switch between the 2 by sliding the profile switch from position 1 to position 2, and all of a sudden your controller is working completely differently based on the game you want to play. One example where I like to use the different configuration profiles is when I play Call of Duty. So in certain situations where I'm running around with pistols, I want to have better access to grenades and to melee weapons. In that case, I set up the profile for one way. But if I play with a sniper rifle, I'll use different thumbstick sensitivities that let me aim down the scope with more control, but then I have still quick reaction time if there's someone creeping up behind me. In each configuration profile you create, you can map buttons and paddles to be just the way you want them. Choose from 14 different digital inputs for each button or paddle. You can also have multiple buttons on the controller do the same thing if you wanted. For example, you could use either a bumper or one of the paddles to throw a grenade if you're playing Halo. You can map buttons one by one if you're changing just a couple of settings, or you can use the advanced settings to review and remap multiple buttons at a glance. Another way to personalize the controller is by editing thumbstick sensitivities. This lets you fine-tune how physical movement of the thumbsticks translates to on-screen movement and control. You can select between pre-built sensitivity curves or create your own. So the app also gives you the opportunity to further customize your triggers to maximize responsiveness. Normally, with the standard controller setup, you have to squeeze the trigger all the way down to get a 100% trigger output. But with the app, you can change that such that you get 100% output even with the slightest squeeze of the trigger. Another benefit of the app is that you can set it up to add a little bit of intentional dead zone to the triggers. One reason why you might want that is to help fine-tune the trigger on a weapon that you don't want to misfire accidentally. One thing that we know that fans are really going to appreciate is the ability to turn down the motor intensity. So the app gives you 4 individual sliders to turn down the motors that are in the grips and that are in the triggers. On top of that, you can adjust the brightness of the Xbox button, and you can swap the right and left thumbsticks. So as you can see, the app gives you an almost unlimited amount of ways to customize the controller, but if you want a simpler setup, you will also have the option to choose among pre-built configuration profiles that are set up directly by the game developers themselves. So one accessory that our fans have been asking about for a long time is, when will Xbox come out with a new chat pad? Earlier this week, we unveiled that a new chat pad is coming for Windows 10 and Xbox One later this holiday. The chat pad attaches to any Xbox One controller. The chat pad has backlit keys, and it also comes with a chat headset in the box. The keyboard layouts include English, German, and French. This chat pad, here it is with one of the Halo 5 controllers that we also announced this week, gives you the ability to write messages, search, enter codes, all with the click of a couple buttons. You can do it in seconds. Some of the cool new features include audio controls, so you'll be able to plug in a headset directly into the bottom of the chat pad, adjust the volume up and down, mute your microphone, and also adjust the game and chat audio balance all at the touch of a button. One of the cool new features about this chat pad, and something that I'm really excited about, are the X1 and X2 programmable buttons. In the future, you'll be able to do such things as launch an app, snap a screenshot, record with game DVR. This feature will be only on Xbox One and will be coming mid-2016. We didn't anticipate the amount of excitement that fans would have for this. We knew internally and through our testing and research that the product would resonate well with fans, and we thought maybe the top 1-2% of gamers would really be excited by it. But being at the Galen Center and watching the unveil and hearing the crowd roar, and then watching our sizzle video that's on YouTube get up to 1 million views has been really exciting personally to see that we've created a product that's going to touch the lives of a lot of gamers.
I'm down on the show floor, braving the crowds to bring you a bit more information about a very special indie title. Now, at E3 2015, when the Unravel trailer dropped, it literally wowed people with its gorgeous yarn-filled gameplay. So I've come down to the stand here at Gamescom, and I'm going to have a bit of a chat with Martin and find out a little bit more about the game. So Martin, greetings, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Excited about all these people.
It is a lot of people. So first of all, obviously Unravel looks super cutesy, but it's not all about kind of cutesy. It's actually quite challenging as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has its ups and downs. It's not just about sunshine and flowers and stuff like that. But I think above all, the thing is, I think it's important to have a bit of challenge in it, to give it that gravity and to give some kind of meaning to it. Because if we just like serve it to you easily, then it's not the accomplishment, it's not the achievement. It doesn't feel like you did something quite as important. So, and also we really like making slightly tricky stuff, so I guess that's why it's...
Okay, so I'm getting the sense that there's a bit of an emotional attachment, obviously, within this game. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like how much feels have you added? Is there a lot of feels in there? Am I going to cry playing this?
I don't know, hopefully, yeah, turn it all the way to 11. No, but seriously, it's one of those games that I really want to touch people's hearts with it. I hope they get into it. I hope that they bond with it, and that's really all it's about. Just trying to create that connection. And it's also, the game is so very much about these bonds between people and these connections. So obviously, I hope that people will connect with the game as well.
You're literally tying people up in an emotional, ravelly yarn strings. So yeah. So one of the levels is called the Sea. So how much of obviously growing up in kind of northern Sweden kind of influenced that particular level?
Actually, all the levels in the game are inspired by our own home environment. So that's something that we wanted to do. We wanted it to be this very personal experience. So basically, this game really is from our hearts, and the environments that it's set in is also from our own home. So we kind of wanted to show that off and just brag about it a bit, I guess.
This is so your baby, right?
It's very much my baby.
Okay, well, I can't wait to jump on and have a go. But thank you for joining us, and we're going to jump over right now to Graham, who's somewhere on the show floor. Graham, where are you?
Thank you, Julia. We are down here on the bustling Gamescom show floor, and I'm joined by Thomas Mahler and Gennady Korol from Moon Studios to talk Ori and the Blind Forest. Now, Thomas, amazing fan reaction to Ori and the Blind Forest last year. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but first of all, you've got some news for fans of the game and also people who maybe haven't jumped into Ori yet, right?
Yeah, so at Gamescom, we're announcing the definitive edition of Ori and the Blind Forest, which will launch holiday this year on Windows 10, on Steam, and on Xbox One. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing little package. We received a ton of fan feedback, and we're just trying to make it the ultimate version of Ori.
Fantastic. Gennady, what makes this the ultimate version of Ori?
So as Thomas mentioned, since the launch of the game, we actually sort of went secret and quiet for a little bit, and we really listened to what the fans had to say about the game. And this is where we spend a lot of time to really read a lot about what people had to say about the original game, what they liked, what they maybe didn't like, and we really want to address all of the bigger points about the game. And we're actually adding a lot of new content, such as new areas, which are going to be using new mechanics and actually quite new exciting artwork, and we'll have potentially new abilities.
All right. Where should fans of Ori head to? Where should they keep an eye on to get more information about the definitive edition?
Well, as usual, just on our Twitter and so on, and we'll keep all the gaming channels updated, definitely.
And you've got an amazing fan base. I remember talking with you guys at Gamescom last year, and Ori being one of the games that everyone was buzzing about. How did it feel to bring it to Xbox One in that kind of environment?
It definitely was amazing. We actually, as a development team, we looked at all the YouTube videos that people made. It was amazing to see how people reacted to the story, the characters that we created, to see people cry playing the game and so on. It's just absolutely amazing, and we still get tons and tons of tweets every day about it and so on. So yeah, this definitive edition, we see it as a little bit of a let's give back to fans, let's make sure they know that we heard them, they know that we are doing everything to polish the game up a little bit more so that they get another cool little bit of Ori.
Gennady, do you have a message for your incredible fan base?
Yeah, you guys have been absolutely amazing, and just so you know, every single YouTube video you've made where you've been emotional about the prologue, where you've watched the credits and said a good thing about a game, or you've tweeted us, we read all of it. There's a really good chance we've seen that, we've read it, and it touched our hearts. And we've worked really, really hard to make sure that Ori and the Blind Forest, the definitive edition, is going to be the best version of Ori for you guys. Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. It's brilliant to see you again. All the best. Enjoy the rest of your Gamescom. And Larry, we're going to hand back up to you.
Thank you very much, Graham. One of the most fascinating indies at Gamescom is We Happy Few, a dystopian survival game that looks like a 1960s version of BioShock. Well, we had to find out more, which is why we have Guillaume Provost from Compulsion Games here joining us. Guillaume, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Larry.
I got to tell you, when I saw your trailer for the first time at our briefing, that trailer, that voice, I couldn't get it out of my head. It was extraordinary.
Thank you.
So the game looks amazing. Tell us about where it's set.
So it's set in 1960s dystopian version of England. We were really excited by Brave New World and a number of other dystopian worlds when we started building the game concept. And yeah, that's the general setting.
Outline a little bit about what the game is. What's the game?
Well, like in Brave New World, everybody's popping these pills, and something terrible happened in their past. So the game's it's an alternate history game where we branched the history in the 1930s and we moved the clock forward 20 years, and everyone's taking happy drugs to forget their past. There's something horrible that happened in their past.
Yeah.
And you're like one of the only lucid people in the world, and the first character that you get to play in the game is actively trying to escape a city that's on an island.
Right. Now, some of the characters are pretty disturbing. We've got some up here on the monitor. What's with the faces? I mean, you told me what they're called. What are they called?
Okay, well, we have different areas of the city, basically.
Sure.
And on the monitor right now, what we're seeing is the abandoned portion of the city. So different sections of the cities are actually recounting the lore and history of different moments in history.
Okay.
So there's a cast out area, the castaway area, where you start out, and these are all the people for which the drug didn't actually work. And then there's the happy side of the city where people are actually wearing these crazy white happy masks.
Happy masks.
Happy masks.
I love
yes.
that. Now, we're going to take a look at the monitor right now. We've got some gameplay that you brought with us, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So let's go ahead and take a look at this gameplay if we could bring that up. And what do we see here? We're going into a phone box.
That's right. So the phone booths in We Happy Few are repurposed as drug fueling mechanisms. Because these people are trying to stay on drugs all the time. And when you take the drug, well, you experience exactly what the inhabitants are experiencing, which is everything seems happy. You see the sky becomes pink, and it helps you basically blend into the society better. Because the general idea is that the population doesn't really like it when they see someone who's a downer, someone who's not on their drugs.
Right. I want to talk. I mean, that's just. It looks beautiful. It looks haunting. It looks scary. It's all of those things that really captured. What was the reaction like here at Gamescom after the trailer was shown?
We had all kinds of reaction. None of them were apathetic, that's for sure.
And many of them that we told are not friendly for TV either, right? Some of the people were like,
yeah, absolutely.
WTF.
We definitely had some WTF moment. For me, when I make a project, there's nothing that pleases me more of generating reactions, whether they're positive or negative.
Right.
I just want to not leave people cold with it. And I think it was, people are ready for new things, for things that are, interesting and different concepts. And I think that's what the studio is all about.
Now, you funded the game through Kickstarter, and the response was amazingly fast. What was that like?
It was fantastic. We were really scared.
Yeah.
When you put a project out there on Kickstarter, failing is obviously a big slap in the face.
Yeah.
And so we prepared very carefully for the Kickstarter campaign, and we went out with a very clear idea of where we were in the project and a very clear depiction of the project. And we just had the fans just flocked. Honestly, it was a very humbling experience for us at the studio to see not just what they liked about the game, but all the different theories that they would have about the history of the game, or the stories of the game. And being able to work with those fans, over the last 2 months has been incredibly gratifying to the team as well.
People want to know, they've got money. When are they going to get the game?
Well, you can currently back the game still on our website.
Yeah.
So on our Compulsion Games website. And then, we're going to have a campaign that lasts for about, 2 more months probably. And then at that point, we're going to close it and have an ecosystem and go quiet for a little bit and work with the backers.
You're going to go off and build the game.
We're going off to build a game. Yes, that's
fantastic. Right. All right, Guillaume, thank you so much. Now at E3, Microsoft announced a new Xbox One experience, but at Gamescom, we got to see a bit more of the new and improved community area. For more, let's send it over to Bravo.
Hey guys, Bravo here with Xbox Daily, now joined by Richard Irving from the engineering team. Richard, finally at E3, your team unveiled the new Xbox One experience. What was that like for the team back home?
Oh, it's been fantastic to announce it and get some of the early fan feedback. What's resonating with fans is the notion of everything you do faster. And so we unveiled the new look for home, which gives you instant access to the games that you've been playing most recently, some contextual items to get you straight into the game hubs, a hint of what friends are playing right now so you can see where the action is with your friends. And then the really big thing is the reimagining of the guide, where you can instantly access your friends, your parties, your messages, just as a really light, quick overlay to the game that you're playing. Again, instantly available at the touch of a button.
One of the features that a lot of fans are excited to learn more about, of course, is the community area.
That's right. So at Gamescom, we're talking about how we're making it easier to find all the great content on Xbox Live. And so we're doing that through the community area here, where we have your activity feed, which we've brought up to home. And then we've got the trending area right here, which is just a quick skim of what's popular on Xbox Live. Now we're actually disclosing a little more detail about what happens when you kind of drill into that area. You see a big, expansive view of all the great content on Xbox Live. One touch down and you're going to see a really cool editorial view of what our editorial staff thinks is really hot and really interesting on Xbox Live. Scroll down even further, you can see the games that are popular on Xbox Live right now. So you want to play with friends, you want to make new friends, these are the games to play. And then scroll down a little bit further, we are drawing more attention to the hit clip creators, the hit broadcasters, the really great players on Xbox Live to help you make friends and find something new to do on Xbox Live.
Even beyond the community area, there's a lot for fans to explore too. One of those is the watch area.
That's right. We've got lots of great video apps. We've got a bunch of cool TV announcements that we made at Gamescom. And so the watch area is an aggregation of all of the apps that you own, all of the app channels that you favorited within those apps, to give you quick access to find something new to watch when you're done playing games for the day.
Richard, the new Xbox One experience sounds amazing. I want to thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of Gamescom.
Thank you.
Well, the harrowing man versus dinosaur game, Ark Survival Evolved, is coming to the Xbox One. Awesome. To give us lots of juicy details is Jesse Rapsack from Studio Wildcard. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome right now. I'm happy to be here at Gamescom. I'm happy to be promoting Ark on Xbox One. We're just so excited about it.
This is your first Gamescom, right?
It is.
Amazing. Love it. So, right, I don't want to waste any time, so I want to know more about the game. So there's lots of different ways to play Ark. Do you want to kind of talk us through, because some guys out there may not know anything about it?
Definitely. There's so many ways to play Ark right now. There's standard PvP if you like to go toe-to-toe with other gamers. If you like your multiplayer to be a little more docile and relaxed, you can go PvE. That way other players can't damage you, but you can still build and craft, make gardens, farm dodos, things like that. If you're a really hardcore survival type gamer and you like to start your character progression over every time you die, we've got that mode as well. It's our hardcore mode. And then we're also releasing new modes all the time during our early access right now. So we've got new action modes that are coming online and things like that.
That's cool. I think really though, the most important question, I think, I say this a lot, but for Gamescom is, so as a player, how often do I get to ride a dinosaur? Because I really want to ride a dinosaur.
All the freaking time.
Oh
that is like one of our main design goals for Ark. It's like, hey, we're going to have dinosaurs. We have to be able to ride them, all of them. And that's true for most of the creatures in the game. It's not just dinosaurs, there's all sorts of other things like dire wolves and saber-toothed tigers. All of them can be ridden or tamed, and it's just an amazing thing.
You're like,
exactly. There's some smaller creatures you can't ride, like dodo birds, even though that would be fun. It'd be like the Mario Kart of Ark, riding around on a dodo bird. But
that should be a new mod.
I would be so excited about that.
You need that, right, okay, because obviously mods are quite important. So I definitely think you should make a note about that. It's the kind of Mario Kart, maybe.
Oh, it's already noted.
Is it? Are you constantly kind of thinking about different stuff that you can do? I mean, because obviously, modding's so important.
Yeah, modding is huge for us. It was actually one of the things we designed the game for. And we've recently released mod support. We already have over 100 mods submitted to the Steam Workshop. Everything from like a Halo mod to Ark Hammer 40K, Jurassic Ark, big things like
Jurassic
that,
Ark.
to just tiny things like I want giant dodo bosses, And so people are doing all sorts of fun stuff. We've made it really easy for them to do it, and we're excited about the community contributions already. We've got a big mod announcement coming up in the next few weeks, and we hope to get some really great things.
Can't you just tell us it now?
Well,
just tell us it now. No one's listening. You could totally
we may have
just
a
tell us
contest brewing, and we're going to be having more details about that later. I would love to see Call of Dinos or
oh my God,
Dino Battlefield or something, I'm just saying, putting some hints out there.
It would be never ending. Never ending. So, of course, obviously, the Xbox preview program, Ark's coming to that. Now, what exactly are we going to see on that? What Xbox One players going to be able to get their hands on?
For starters, we want to get our whole game onto Xbox One the way it currently is. And then we're going to start to iterate on some things that might be more important to console gamers. The last thing we want to do is port a PC game to the console experience. We know people play differently on console. We've got parties. People like to jump in and out of games.
I just like having crisps on my stomach.
There you go.
I game. That's my thing.
So we're going to be fine-tuning. We've had great success with early access on PC, iterating with the community. We want to do the same thing on Xbox, get players' feedback, get their participation, making the game better, and we're really looking forward to that.
Oh, it just looks so cool. I have to say, obviously, you had the Survival of the Fittest tournament last week, I believe.
A huge success.
Yeah, amazing. So are we going to be seeing that mode maybe, added into the big game? Maybe you could just...
We are. We're releasing Survival of the
this.
Fittest in a few days. It's going to be public for everybody to play and tweak. We're releasing it as a mod, as an example, to teach people how to create new game modes and things like that. And the thing that's awesome about Survival of the Fittest is it fills a gap in Ark's play style. A lot of people don't have 10s and 20s and 30s of hours to devote to getting to ride a dinosaur and building a base. And Survival of the Fittest is a compressed game style, more action-oriented, but it's something that might appeal to console gamers, really getting in there and playing a match.
Oh my God, well there's so much to talk about. I'm so sorry we're going to have to cut it short, but thank you so much for being here, Jesse. It's amazing. And now, you know, Lethal Combat is about to get adorable, although I do think Dinosaurs with Saddles is kind of adorable. Here are the new back-to-back trailers for Plants vs. Zombie Garden Warfare 2. Looking forward to this, and Worms.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, my absolute favourite movie of the summer, possibly ever, was Mad Max Fury Road. So chrome yourself and witness me, brothers, because the mayhem's about to continue in the new Mad Max game. And I'm delighted to say that joining us now to talk all things Mad and Max is senior producer John Fuller. John, how are you, mate?
Great, thank you, Graham.
Good, and you've brought your own war boy here in Evan to walk us through this demo as well.
Doesn't come tougher than him.
I love it. Right, first of all, tell us where Mad Max the game fits into the Mad Max universe.
Yeah, so this is really set in the same universe as you will have seen in the film that you mentioned. It's an authentic Mad Max experience, but although you'll recognize many elements, it's an original story, a completely new original set of characters, and a world sort of built from the ground up to rival the best open worlds out there.
Fantastic. So Evan's got us going on the demo here. First of all, just tell me, how's the reaction been at Gamescom this week from the real gamers and players here?
Amazing. I mean, it's such a massive show to see, you know, hundreds and hundreds of players just coming out with smiles on their faces. Lots of them are just, you know, going off piste, doing stuff that we didn't expect them to do. Yeah. One guy just headed out into the big nothing, just completely disregarded what the mission had asked him to do. Yeah. Came out with a big smile on his face, you know.
That's great. No, well, that's amazing to hear, because this is an open world game. Tell us what's happening in the demo just now and the kind of range of things you can do in the game.
Yeah, so one of the big tenets of the game is this brutal, high-paced vehicle combat.
Yeah.
Evan, perhaps foolishly, has chosen to get out of his car.
I was destroyed.
But you've got that great combination of melee combat plus the vehicles as well, right? So
yeah,
we're seeing
exactly.
that here.
Yeah,
melee.
So this is the Thunderstick, which is one of the more brutal weapons.
But of course, the car in Mad Max is really the key to everything, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the game starts with you losing your car, right?
You lose your Interceptor, the iconic car that Max is known for, but you also you want to spend your journey building something that will help you escape the wasteland and survive, and maybe find some peace, some inner peace for Max.
All right, so here's your magnum opus here. Let's jump in. Talk me through the driving and the physics and the driving combat, which we're seeing right in front of us as well.
So maybe we can actually go to first-person camera and see real
I love this.
Adrenaline rush.
Well. So talk us through, how does the car feel and how does the combat work?
It's very, very physical driving experience. There's tons and tons of upgrades and customizations. No two players will end up with the same magnum opus. And every upgrade that you do changes the physics, the balance, the weight. You know, if you add a ramming grille that's too heavy on the front of the car, you're going to change your maneuverability. You're probably going to have to put on new tires and give yourself more traction. Then we've got a bunch of weapons, defensive and offensive options that you can craft and add to your vehicle. You see Max's partner here, Chumbucket, manning the harpoon. Chumbucket, unfortunately christened. Yeah.
Love it. Well, John, Evan, it looks absolutely incredible, and I'm delighted to see it looks bang on in the Mad Max universe as well. It looks just like seeing the movie come to life in front of me, so thank you. When are we going to be able to play it?
September 1st, it's out PS4, so it's like 3 weeks from now.
It's not even long.
Yep.
Fantastic. All right, gents, thank you so much. Cheers for your time.
Thank you very much.
And now the insanely popular MMO World of Tanks has a tank-sized presence at Gamescom and a brand new trailer to go with it as well. So let's take a look at that. So much for joining us here in Cologne, Germany for Xbox Daily Live.
It has been a fantastic couple of days. Now listen, if you missed any of this, it's waiting right there on your console. Just check it out, video on demand, all the shows right now.
That's right. So from all of us here at Xbox, all of these incredible Xbox fans,
you guys are so
to you
awesome.
Xbox fans watching
Seriously.
at home, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wait, before, they were all excited, I know, but there is more before we go, because obviously Xbox is the home for indie developers. It's the place to be, right?
Absolutely.
So we've got some incredible things to show you from the Idea Xbox program. Don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you again next year. Bye!
You better come see this.